There are approximately 300,000 travellers and gypsies living in the UK and Ireland.
I told you we can't drive.
With unprecedented access to children within the community, we explore the world through their eyes.
Go on. Skid, skid, skid.
Facing prejudice.
Gyppo bastards. Leave.
Bullying.
Calls me pikey all the time.
And eviction from a young age.
Where am I gonna live down?
These children are proudly resilient.
I don't want my spirit to break, so I just want to still be me.
We like who we are, and we stay in who we are.
Welcome to their secret world.
You want to follow behind? Most people don't understand who gypsies are.
We're not all the same.
We can live in a house or on a traveller's site. It's not a lifestyle.
We're an ethnic minority.
Some of us are Romany gypsy.
Some of us are travellers.
Some of us like school.
Some of us want to live at 11 years old.
Our world is changing. We are the future generation. This is our story.
12-year-old Romany gypsy Ben takes great pride in his home, a traveller's site in Nottingham.
I live here with my mum, dad, brother and sister and dog. You got loads of space, you can do whatever you want. I love it here.
Unfortunately, away from the site, life's not so amazing for Ben. A victim of bullying, he's been forced to move schools no fewer than 9 times.
It's a big number. 9 schools. No one should have to go to 9 schools because of who they are. This is my chalet. What we have here is the living room, kitchen area. I was at quite a good school before, and then when the gypsy thing got out, people would shy away from me. This one person says to me, "Oh no, you're a gypper, we can't be friends, you'll rob me blind."
He's had a lot of prejudice. It's a good job Ben's as strong as he is, because many a kid would just crack under that sort of pressure.
And that pressure is showing no signs of decreasing. Friday afternoon, and Mum Natalie has just received an all-too-familiar call.
Just had a phone call from the school to tell me that Benjamin's been attacked by another boy. He's been pushed over and he's got a bump and a graze on the back of his head. Because of his ethnicity, he's had problems where he's been called racist names, he's been verbally attacked and things like that. It just worries you. Your heart sinks when you're being called into school to go and pick your child up when all you want them to do is go and get an education. Hiya. Do we know have we got to the bottom of what's happened yet? Do we know?
We've isolated the student, we're taking statements. As soon as we've got all the statements together,
Yeah.
then obviously we'll make a decision.
All right then, thank you. Come on then. So, you've had a horrible day then. God love you. It's quite a lump, isn't it?
Mm.
So what actually happened then?
We sat down on the table,
Yep.
and then this lad walks up to me
Yeah.
and says, "Why have you started on my friend?"
Yeah.
And then I've said, "Who's your friend?" I don't
Do you even know this boy?
No.
So then what happened?
I stand up to ask him if he can leave me.
Yeah.
And then he grabs me by my shoulders and throws me on the floor.
Dear God. And that's how you got the bump on your head?
Yeah.
There does come a point in life where you're taking your kids to school and your heart's in your throat because you're thinking, what's going to happen today?
Ben's sister, 13-year-old Anastasia, has also experienced bullying at school. But today, her mind is on Ben.
It makes me feel really upset. During the day, I'm going to be worrying whether Ben's had an issue or not, because I don't know whether people have started to fight on him.
In the past, when I've made some nice friends, I go, "Is it all right if I'm a traveller?" And they go, "No," and then stop being my friend. Makes me feel bad that I have to ask someone if I'm okay to be their friend, if I am from a different community.
I tired of it, mate.
I'd rather go to school as Ben, the 12-year-old boy, not Ben, the gypsy.
Olivia is 9, and she's an Irish traveller. She lives on an illegal site in Ireland with her cousin Alicia.
That's Kevin, this is Savannah, my sister, this is my cousin, Alicia. I've been here for, I think it's 3 months or something.
Before living on this car park, Olivia and her family were living on a council-run site called Woodlands Park. But they were all evicted.
We got put out and we got moved here. It was better than here because it wasn't messy like here.
The eviction was carried out due to health and safety concerns and a perceived fire risk. But health and safety is still a problem for Olivia. This retail car park next to KFC is far from ideal. The 12 families are living without running water or toilets. And now life is about to change again. A council truck has just arrived. Olivia and her friends are about to be evicted again.
We're getting put out this one now. Where are we going to live now?
In Ireland, 9-year-old Olivia and 11 other families are just hours from another eviction.
I'm making a house. It's kind of like a mansion.
With a severe shortage of dedicated sites in the UK and Ireland, it's almost inevitable travellers will end up stopping on privately owned land. The youngest person living on the car park is 4-month-old Monroe. Her father is 22-year-old Kieran.
This is my daughter here that was born on the day we got evicted. Very, very angry that day because that was our home, like, with nowhere else to go then after that. That's very, very hard, you know. No facilities, no showers, none of that. You have to go to the gym, pay into the gym every day if you want to have a shower and stuff like that.
Me, my daughter, and her little cat sleeps in here. I don't get to have my own room. I have to sleep in the same bed with my sister. And she kicks me sometimes. Eat your breakfast. I'm going to drop you to school.
Olivia and Alicia have not been able to attend school regularly since the eviction.
School's over today. Yeah, we have to go and get our graduation. I miss school. I don't get to learn a lot anymore. I like learning a lot. Maths is my favorite subject. I miss my teacher and my friends, and it's making me feel very sad. She's taking us to school for our graduation.
Do you want to move all the time?
No.
Why not?
Because it's kind of like tiring, and like going to places new is kind of weird.
The council have left boulders around the perimeters of the car park to prevent travellers pulling onto the land again.
They're putting us out in a couple of days, so we have to move on to the side of the road now until we find somewhere else to go again.
The lorry, he's putting us away from this site now, with all the big rocks.
What do you think about that?
I don't know why he's putting away us from this side.
Now Olivia, Alicia and 11 other families are waiting for the police to arrive and start the eviction. Eight-year-old English traveller Jack Joe lives on an authorised site in Essex. But his world's also been disrupted by eviction, as he lived next door to Dale Farm.
I did have friends who used to live up that road in Dale Farm, but then the council took them all away. I think it was because you wasn't allowed to live up that road or something. They didn't do anything wrong. And now I've got none of them to play with.
Dale Farm was Britain's largest illegal travellers' site. Although the families owned the land, they were never able to secure planning permission. The eviction cost the taxpayer over £7 million.
We used to play a lot of football, and they would come over and build stuff with us. It was really fun to have all my friends nearby, but then they all got kicked off.
Do you ever get worried that you're going to get moved on?
No, because they can't do that, because this is a proper place here, what we've bought. When I grow up, I want to be involved with the government so that I can give the word to other people that travellers are good people, give them another chance. I think the council wouldn't think of travellers being very good. I'm a traveller, but I'm not a bad person like all travellers.
Luckily for Jack Joe, he still has a few friends left. 10-year-old twins Johnny and Abraham also live on the site and are here to stay.
We like where we live because there's loads of space. We can play all the time. We're never bored round here because we've always got something to do.
What do you guys get up to when you're around here?
Mischief. Oh, yeah.
What sort of mischief?
Shooting guns, stuff like that. But not at people, at cats. Yeah.
Home is a huge playground for the boys, with 3 acres of land for them to do whatever they want on.
That's my nan's house, and that's where my mum and dad lives. Up the field we have a horse, too.
The boys' granddad bought the site 30 years ago, and they live with 2 dogs, 8 puppies, a sheep called Sean, and 2 miniature Shetland ponies.
That brown and white one, he's called Sparky. They're miniature Shetlands cross Bella, the smallest horse in the world. We bought a Shetland harness and it didn't fit him, so we had to make him one out of rope. We need to buy a really smaller harness.
Desperate to get back in the saddle, the boys will have to find a miniature harness for a miniature Shetland. Like Jack, Joe and the twins, Ben is also happiest living on a site, but for very different reasons.
Living in a house was hard. One incident that we have, there was petrol left at the bottom of the staircase with a match inside it, not lit. And then we had this van, and people have gone in through the night and carved in, "You Gypsy bastards, leave." Felt worried going to sleep knowing that maybe tonight it's going to be a really weird person that's going to come in and kill us. And we went, no more now, we're leaving.
Ben and his family left their house and have made this site their home.
This is the tiki bar. The beer pump's here, not connected yet. And this is the karaoke set.
And what's your karaoke song? What would you like to sing?
My go-to tune would be That's Life by Frank Sinatra. This is a sauna, seats 2 people. It's a giant sweat box. I'm just gonna show you the hot tub. It's empty at the moment because in the middle of cleaning it.
Do you feel lucky to live here?
I do feel lucky to live here, yes, because all the luxuries and the space, and there's no one around, so you can do your own thing. And I think that's amazing.
Ben's had to move house to feel safe, and now he's left school for the same reason.
We went into school to have a meeting because Benjamin was put into what they call protected learning time, which is basically isolation.
Come on out. I feel safer at home. I don't have to worry about if this boy's going to cause a problem with me, if I'm going to get into a fight, if someone's going to knock me down again. I've had to fight through my school life for all 9 schools I've been to. No one should have to go through 9 schools because of who they are.
He's being isolated from his peers. I feel like I've lost all trust in the whole system.
I feel a bit upset when I get punished for something that I've done nothing wrong.
In our view, I don't feel we've had any other alternative choice other than to take Benjamin away from that environment.
Temporarily, I will be at home learning an hour a day. They sold all clothes that they mended.
Ben's academic ability for his age doesn't represent 12 years. His academic ability is more of like a 9 or a 10-year-old. And that's because he's had so many interruptions in his education.
I've carved a new leg for that chair, Dado.
And what would you like to be when you're older?
I want to be a pilot. To become a pilot, I need to do maths with my coordinates and map reading. And I need to do English. Legally, I can become a qualified pilot at 18, and I can get my licence at 16. My goal is to get it at 16. So I need to work hard to make sure I get that. What does the end mean?
Basically what it means is that it's like saying out the longing to do something. Somebody's really waiting to do something because they really want to do it. I think that's what it means.
Gypsies and travellers are 4 times more likely to be excluded from school than other groups. Bullying and racism is one of the main reasons why they often don't do as well as they should at school. I deal with attendance issues. People don't realise they are allowed to keep the children out of school for up to 100 days a year. If they're travelling for work, the school record it as a T for traveller in the register, but actually lots of traveller families are fined for low attendance. Their lifestyle might be that they have a lot of freedom to roam around, to be active, to do practical things, and therefore, you know, sitting down and is something they find difficult. So what can be perceived as very bad behaviour is often just high spirits and not being used to what's expected of them in school.
You're not meant to move.
Ben's experience of bullying is not unique.
Double jab, hook.
Many traveller children experience problems at school because of their identity.
Tell me about your friends at school.
They're all bullying me and they keep calling me Pikey. My dad, he started taking me boxing, and now, like most people in school, are quite scared of me. So now they just like talk to me like I'm a gorger. You can't just let them like be all horrible to you. You've got to fight back.
Fighting back is something the twins' Uncle Tony knows all about. He's a professional champion cage fighter.
The person that I would like to be when I'm older is like Tony. I want to be Tony the second, with a load of belts.
Where am I going to have a fight? Should we make me a cage in it?
Yeah, let's make a big cage. I'll buy some mesh.
Tony's 4-year-old son Rudy lives with his 3-year-old sister Delilah and mum Danielle. She's an ex-Page 3 model and not a traveller. Tomorrow, Rudy will get to watch his dad in a professional cage fight for the very first time.
Cage fighting.
Darryl, Darryl, I'm coming for you, Darryl! Let's have it!
Tomorrow offers another first for Rudy. He will also be his dad's mascot and lead him into the cage.
So are you going to walk Daddy out on Saturday to the music? Don't hit me.
And so are you excited? Or are you nervous?
Nervous.
And why are you a bit nervous?
Because I am.
Are you nervous about walking him out, or are you nervous that Daddy might get hurt?
Daddy might get hurt. I did the children's cage boxing and I watched Daddy.
Do you like training with your daddy?
Yeah.
And what does it feel like when you're watching Daddy fight?
Cool! He gets lots of medals and trophies.
This will be Tony's first fight in 8 months.
Tony, anything you like to say? You're back in the cage. K1 again. You've been a long time out. What do you want to say to your fans?
Well, sorry for the long delay, people, but I'm back now, and I mean business, and I'm now reformed as a gypsy superhero.
Tony has just been released after serving 8 months in a high-security prison. But just days from his return fight, he's been attacked.
There's a feud at the bottom of the site what I don't know about, and my brother's down there, run down there and got shot in the face. Nearly got my finger chopped off. Machete, see that there? That was nasty. But I've got a fight tomorrow with that.
Babes, look at me, Roo.
All I could think about was obviously my kids and how I want to be, so make sure that they don't, anything like this never happens to them pretty much.
Let me put
Yeah, then. Tony, it's gonna be all right for him to see your cage fight tomorrow, isn't it?
What? Yeah, obviously. They watch enough wrestling on telly, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's only just like going and watch the wrestling. Now he's old enough, he likes wrestling, he's into that, he wants to go boxing, he got him a karate suit. Now I think it's the perfect time to bring him along, so let's see tomorrow how he is. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, though.
Don't do that again.
Tony has strong opinions on how to raise a son.
There he is. Mothers him too much. He's got to be prepared for the outside world. Prepared for the outside world. Travelling women, they let the men take care of the son pretty much, to bring him up a little bit. Felt from when I was in prison to when I come out of prison, everything I said to him, he just wasn't listening to a word that I'd say. And that's the reason that really they should just leave it to the man to bring a boy up, to be into a man, with flower.
Tony's always agging at me. You baby and you spoiling. I don't. You know what it's like when you're a mum, you just feel like your kids are like more safer with you. Tony gives my kids so many sweets. See, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have no kids left, would you? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Oh. Good night. I do actually think it is too young to go to a cage fight, but he watches all his dad's fights on the telly, and he wants to do cage fighting when he grows up.
How do you think he's going to cope when he sees his dad get hit tomorrow?
Oh my God. Do you know what? I haven't actually really thought of these things.
It's 8:30 a.m. in Dundalk, and time has run out for Olivia and her family. The police have arrived to evict all 12 families from the car park. It's the second time Olivia has been evicted in 6 months. To shield the children from more distress, Olivia's mum has moved her to a smaller car park around the corner.
We left late last night because we knew what was going to happen. But the guards came in last night and said, look, it's private property, you'll only be left here for a couple of days.
At the eviction site, tension is growing between the travellers and the police.
I was sitting outside and they're sick, and I have to bring her out here. I'm serious.
The film crew are also ordered off the car park by the police.
They ask you to back out after private property.
22-year-old Kieran is arguing to save his family's home.
You harassing me, everybody! Stay out of this place! I don't want you around me! Stay away from me! Now I'm telling you, stay away from me! I've mental disorders and I'm fed up with you! Stay away from me, everybody! I've been a closet kid all my age. I've been young child in there, I promise! I promise you, stay away from me!
They're lifting like other people's homes up and trying to tow them away. It's hard to keep moving and moving and moving. It's kind of sad, like where you're getting put out your home.
We want to know why you put us out.
As the situation escalates, the police arrest Kieran. They also seize 2 trailers, one of which belongs to a mother who's at hospital giving birth.
She's just gone in to have a baby.
Yeah.
So now she's got no home to go home to with a newborn baby.
Hannah's in hospital having her baby.
Oh, I pity her now. I pity her. I know we're bad, but that's just disgraceful. That's just beyond.
Olivia and these families are homeless again, left to search for a new site to call home.
Eviction it's like evacuation. The council and the police treat travellers wrong. I really like this place, and if I got evicted from it, I wouldn't be happy. The police has to get like these big machines with a little thing on them with a tow bar, or destroy their homes if they have a chalet. I think that's just evil because gypsies haven't done no wrong. They should stay where they're supposed to stay. You don't need a lawnmower when you've got an horse who likes a lot of grass.
In Essex, Jack, Joe and the twins are doing their daily chores and tending to the horses.
Why do you like horses, boys?
Because it's something that a traveller would have, because they're nice. And when we're older, we're going to start breaking horses in.
The boys have ordered a harness for their favourite horse, Sparky, so they can teach her to pull a cart. It's an important step if they're going to learn how to train and sell horses.
How important are horses to travellers, Jack?
Very important, because when they have foals, if you sell the foals, you get a lot of money from them.
While Sparky is out of action, the twins are using their building skills to make a firing range.
Lift it, then! I'm lifting it. You must be as weak as a pensioner. Shut up. When we round here, we usually play with like BB guns and catapults and bow and arrows. Now let's go get a piece of wood. That is wonky. Oh, that's it. How is that going? No. John, how is that going on? That's just made it even more wonkier. No, it's not. It's on the stick. We're always playing with Jack Joe. When he's here, it's a lot funner. So even though that me and my brother's here, there's someone to play with, when you're with them for a long time, you get bored of it. Like he's our cousin, we treat him as our brother and that. You might want to move out the way when we do this.
I will, don't worry, mate.
Oh! Oh! I think that we get a lot more freedom than the Golden kids, because Golden children, they would be able to have catapults. Oh! You missed it. Their parents would say, no, it's too dangerous. Most of my Golden friends at school, like, they just play on their Xboxes most of the time. Oh! I hit it! Did you knock it down? No. They don't like to go outside and, like, feel free like travellers do. We're very lucky to have the stuff that we've got, because other children wouldn't. Yeah. I feel like the luckiest person in my school.
Back in Nottinghamshire, while Ben is no longer in school, he's running his own egg-selling business.
Selling the eggs gives me money to be able to pay for my flying lessons. We've got 102 chickens, 6 ducks, and 6 baby goslings, and 2 geese. There's 6 in each box, so I charge £1 for chicken eggs and £2.50 for duck eggs. I usually get £14 a week just on eggs. My flying lesson costs £150.
So what's that, 10 weeks to say for a lesson?
10 weeks, yeah.
He's had a business mind from being tiny. He's always wanted to buy something and sell it on and so on, which is quite typical, really, of a lot of people in our community.
They're protecting the babies because they think that we're going to steal them.
Ben's determined to fund his flying dreams himself, and he's already on his way.
I've had one lesson already. It's actually my first time being in a plane. I was nervous for it, but when I got home, I was just like, oh, I flew a plane. I'm no longer at school, so I can't sell them to the teachers anymore. But now I'm a supplier for the cafe. He makes cooked English in the morning. He uses my eggs. Right, that's 8 trays. I'm ready for delivery.
I went to lots of different schools. I experienced classrooms where members of the travelling community weren't allowed to interact with those of the settled community.
Hi, Ben. There you go. Just put them on the side there.
I genuinely thought in the year 2016 that people would have moved on, but in actual fact, in my view, I think things have got harder.
There you go, sweetheart. Thank you very much. See you next time. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
£24.
Just like aspiring pilot Ben, his sister Anastasia has high hopes for the future and wants to become a singer.
When I'm singing, I feel like I'm connected to everybody. People I wouldn't usually connect with or speak to, I can connect with through my singing.
2, 3, and go. Anastasia has been to quite a few primary schools. She's been attacked, beaten up. When she was 5 years old, she got pinned to the floor and somebody tried to feed her leaves and said, this is what dirty Gyppos should eat.
Amazing grace.
Anastasia's problems stopped at the primary school gates, but for some reason, Ben's have continued.
I feel devastated for Ben because he was going to school with the same ideas as me, to get his education, to be a pilot.
In schools, travelling girls are treated a lot differently to travelling boys. They look out for the girls and they'll encourage them. What's perceived of travelling boys are these big, rough and tough, roguish characters. So therefore it makes it very difficult for a lot of travelling boys to be able to get on in school.
I see.
Again, high five. Brilliant, really good.
Some gorgeous call gypsies pikeys. You're a traveller, haha, you're a gypsy and all that. That hurts my feelings when they say that. It just makes me feel bad about myself. People don't really bully me because I get out of their way. Do you know there's this boy who keeps calling him Pikey? Well, he's made up a big gang now. They all gang up on him. You wouldn't just stay there and let them do it. You would fight back for yourself.
In Essex, Sparky's miniature harness has arrived. At last, twins Johnny and Abraham can train him to pull their homemade cart.
From now on, we're going to get him out every day, put him in the cart and train him. So then he's all properly broke in, so then we can ride him like this because he's all calm. In the future, I want to, build my own wagons, get horses, break them all in, take them to shows and fairs. Go on, Sparky! Woohoo! This is good! When I want to live in a chalet what my mum's got over there. And I want to live here when I'm older. It's a long while yet, anyway. We'll always be with each other, because when we're older, we're all going to stick together. We'll all have, chalets all next to each other. Even though we don't get on sometimes, we're brothers and we always stick up for each other. Family's probably the most important thing in the world. I try not to sneeze and that's what happens.
Rudy!
I'm doing the poo.
Oh, Rudy.
In Bracknell, the day of Tony's fight has arrived.
Where are you going?
Okay, side.
This is Tony's first fight since he finished an 8-month prison stretch.
Now I'm back and I'm ready, and I'm a gypsy superhero, the Rhino.
Ruth, do you know where the hairspray is?
No.
Your dad nicks all my hairspray, gel, everything. It really, really off. The reason Rudy's going to this cage fight is because obviously his dad was fighting and Rudy was like, Daddy, please, can I come? Please, can I come? Please, can I come? And he watches it on the telly all the time. And he was just like really, really wanting to go.
Something is wrong to Daddy's car.
Oh, what have you pressed? Or
I didn't press the button.
Yeah. Oh man, where have I put my phone? I bet Tony's driven off with it.
Rudy is on his way to watch his dad in the cage. But at 4, is he old enough to see this violent sport up close?
I keep getting a wedgie. Come on, in you go, kids. Where is it? Quick. Tony, when are you fighting?
Next.
Okay.
You're next, yeah? I think after this fight, after Dom's fight. Where's Dom?
Tony's fighting next, but there's just enough time for a quick pep talk with Rudy.
Rudy, come here. I want you to concentrate tonight, and that's how you've got to be, all right? Concentrate. When we go out, do what we've got to do. And when Daddy's fighting, remember it's only a sport. We're only playing, all right?
The last few minutes of warm-up for Tony, and then it's fight time. Best friends Olivia and Alicia were separated by the eviction, and today is the first time that they have seen each other since.
So girls, have you missed each other?
Yeah.
We only get to see each other on the weekends now.
We only get to see each other on weekends. Santa's not playing. You have to say bippity boppity boo. Bippity boppity boo. We used to play games and we used to play Monster Highs and we had a little tree house as well.
Can you play those games anymore?
No. I miss them a lot.
Olivia and her family have been staying with her grandma, but there isn't enough space for them to stay long term.
I'm writing a letter for the council to tell them how I'm doing and how scared I am. Dear council, I had to move place to place. What if you got put out of your home? Would you like it? So please open their sites. I beg you. Why did you not get fruit? I don't like them.
What do you miss about the KFC site?
We had our own little tree house there. The tree house had to get burnt because we were leaving, and that made me feel very sad.
Alicia and Olivia may never live together again, as there are not enough sites for all the traveller families.
Tell me how long you would like to be friends for.
Like forever. Forever. I kinda want to tree started hitting him. La 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 la. We're the Traveller Girls.
It's Saturday night at the Troxy in East London, Britain's top cage fighting venue. 4-year-old English traveller Rudy is about to watch his dad fight for the first time.
Moves, twists and turns, but each body shots to the body.
Despite his time out of the game, it takes Tony just 37 seconds to take out his opponent and break his ribs.
Declaring your winner by TKO, Tony the Rhino.
Giles!
Despite venue policy, 4-year-old Rudy has come to watch his first cage fight, and he's taken it in his stride.
Who's that? Who's that there, Rolo?
After Tony's victory, Rudy is with his dad watching a replay of the cage fight.
Was you scared when Daddy was fighting? No? Because you know I win. Our culture and your culture is different. You've been brought up with stability around you. We get brought up with our windows getting blown out. Do you understand what I mean? So I don't want him to go down the pathway that I've had to go down. The long, hard pathway. You know why I do it? So you don't have to do that. All you've got to do is go to school, all right? You can still come to all my cage fights, and when you go to school, you learn loads of things in that little brain, and then you don't have to earn your money like Daddy. Look, with all them cuts and bruises, look.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Be a real boxer. I'll go like this. I'll go like and man. When I was watching you, I said, punch you in the pain, where you never pain.
What?
It's been 8 weeks since 12-year-old Ben left school after being bullied, the last in a long line of problems he's faced because of his Romany Gypsy heritage. But things are looking up, as the day has finally arrived for Ben to take one step closer to becoming a pilot.
Just want to get in the plane and fly to the moon, as Frank said.
We don't have too many people of Ben's age at 12 years old, but it's nice to see young people taking up flying. OK, so Ben, just look at the instrument before we fly then. The instrument over here is the altimeter. If we want to lower the nose or pitch the nose down, we simply use the controls forward.
Yeah.
Pitch the nose up, use the controls back. We're turning left and right, we turn the aircraft left and that way.
Yeah.
And guess what, if you want to go right,
go that way.
Go that way, that's it. Well done. Excellent.
With the basics covered, Ben is ready for takeoff.
When we got up to 2,000 feet, Mick handed the controls to me.
What was that like?
That was incredible. The view was phenomenal. All I saw was just grass and trees and houses and everything. It was beautiful.
Conditions today were quite challenging for somebody who hasn't done an awful lot of flying. And when I handed him the controls, he flew extremely well.
When it bounces up with the turbulence, your heart starts beating faster and it goes back down again.
In the future, he could become possibly a commercial pilot.
Whatever they do or try would not stop me from being a pilot. And I'm not letting anyone get in the way of that. And it won't stop me for who I want to be. Once again, just doing what I do, flying a plane. That was incredible. Not many people get to have an experience like that.
Next time, will Annie cope with life in a house now that she's moved away from her friends on the traveller side?
I was born here and that, so it was quite sad for me to move.
Does champion boxer Royston have what it takes to stay on top?
I think I'm quite quiet, but I've got to watch out for the quiet ones.
And will twins Johnny and Abraham follow in their Uncle Tony's cage fighting footsteps?
This boy was kicking me and pushing me, so I hit him on the head with a rounder's bat.
If it ain't in a ring or in a boxing club, take a deep breath, walk away, think to yourself, it ain't worth it.
And if that opened your eyes to what it's like living in the traveller community, get more insight tomorrow, this time into life on benefits, depressed, stressed and repossessed. Brand new at 8.